Doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. We're talking all this football. We want to get to the real football.
The real football.
The real football. What's going on with your boys?
Oh.
I know you're excited to get back at it after last year. Kind of a disappointing loss to Washington Township in the playoffs. And what's been the mood in the offseason? You guys obviously lost a lot of good players. You get the DeSoy twins, Amir Brock. So a lot of that defense is gone. What's been the motivation this offseason? How have you tinkered with things?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're excited. I'm really excited. The boys have been working really hard since July. We've been out there getting after it. We graduated 14 seniors. So we're fairly young, but I'll tell you what, so it's probably the toughest group of kids I've had in 13 years I've been there. They work hard, super coachable. And, they're ready. They're ready to kind of, fill in for the DeSoys and the Amirs and the Eric Barnes and, Yanni. How do you replace a kid who scores 30 goals? But I'll tell you what, these boys are ready. They're ready and, super coachable. And, we've been getting after it. So we've had a couple scrimmages and see a lot of really, really good things. And, a couple things we need to work on. But they're ready. They're ready. And I love the group we have. We're young, but we're going to compete. We'll be in every game, and the boys have that attitude as well.
Coach, one of the things that people don't realize sometimes when you do lose a dozen or more seniors, that's not always a bad thing because these guys who have played under them have been fighting so hard to just try to get any kind of minutes, and they see what it takes on a daily basis in practice to compete at this level. So that's kind of a positive, even though they don't have the game experience. They have the experience every day of being around a winning program.
Yeah, these boys have been around it. Even with my coaches, I'm very lucky to have the coaches I do, Dennis Heenan and Phil Mattori. And they get these guys ready. They get them ready at the JV level, at the freshman level, and they get them ready for situations like we're in. Graduating 14 players, to have, a whole set of boys step in from the freshmen, from the JV level and compete at the top, they're ready. We take a few bumps here and there, and we have. We went to Tom's River, played a tournament there, and 4 scrimmages. But the boys, like you said, they see what we've done over the years, and the boys have been watching, and they've been, training to be in this situation. So now, the game's a little bit quicker, physicality is a little bit tougher. But they're learning, and we're hoping we're ready for next week. We open with Delsey, and we're hoping to get after it at home.
Coach, you guys got a real nice little Atlantic County, Upper Cape May County rivalry going with teams like Mainland, Ocean City, St. Augustine Prep. Those squads really get after it. You saw a couple of those guys from Ocean City and Mainland kind of teamed up this summer for that travel team that went down to Florida to compete for a national championship. So your schedule is not an easy one by any stretch.
No, not at all. And you know what? And I told the boys from day one, I said, we're going to wear a target on our back. We're a big Group 4 school. We've been successful. We've been fortunate. And, teams are going to be gunning for us. They want to get after EHT, get some power points. And, we got to be ready for that. As far as that team that went down to Florida, we're fortunate we had 2 players on that team, and Nicky Telvaccio and PJ Britton. They were down there as well. So, as far as, experience and playing at that level, these guys came back, man, and they've been getting after it. They look great. But yeah, Mainland's a very good team. Ocean City, obviously, but in our conference, it's always tough. Cape Atlantic League is tough. It's physical. It's demanding. And these boys are starting to buy in and believe that, every game is going to be a battle, and we got to be ready. So, the Millvilles, the Vinelands, Atlantic City, obviously Mainland, the Prep's always a big game. So he's ready who, haven't been at the varsity level. It's new to them this year. They're starting to believe, like, okay, we can do this. We've got to train hard. Practice like we play, and every game's going to be a battle. So I'm positive, man. I love this group. I'm really excited to get things going next week, and the boys are buying in.
Coach, it was kind of funny. I was talking to some of those guys over the summer for the South Jersey Football Club, and I was talking to the Payone boys from Ocean City, and a couple of their good friends are on mainland. I said, hey, you guys starting to wear any green T-shirts around or anything? They said, we don't even own any green clothes. And the mainland boys were like, we don't ever wear red. So it's kind of neat to see these real, once the season starts, man, it's all about your school colors and representing that team. And not that your enemy's on the field, but you're not going to take it easy on your buddy if he's on the other side.
No, absolutely. And a lot of these guys know each other. They played, the team that went to Florida, they played club together. They know each other. I mean, we just had a scrimmage the other day up at Williamstown, and on the bus ride home, they were talking about, players from mainland. They were talking about scrimmages. They're talking about who did this, who did that. You know what? And that's the best part about competition. These guys all know each other. They respect each other. But, when you get on the field, like you said, when you get on the field, it's time to go to work. And that's what I tell my boys, it's time to punch in. It's time to clock in. We're going to work. We got 80 minutes, maybe more, to get the job done. So these guys all know each other. But when it comes down to it, it's all about, like you said, your school colors. It's all about pride. I tell my boys every day at practice and every game. And they'll tell you. I tell them to play with passion, have a purpose, and pride. So EHT pride, we're all about EHT pride. I'm an OC alum, and I love getting after it with OC. Mainland's a big rivalry. They're all big. Every game is big. Every game is big in the Cape Atlantic, and the boys are understanding that, and they're excited. We're excited for this year.
We're talking with head coach Pete Lambert, Egg Harbor Township boys soccer. Coach, when are we going to get the tradition started at the high school level of the scarf exchange prior to the opening kick?
I'll tell you what, Sully, we're not far off. I'm all about that. If I can get the other teams to buy in, we'll do it next week when we open up at home with Delsey.
Let's get it going, man. I want to see the I want to see the stand out there with the ball on it, so that when the refs come onto the field. So some little kids out there lining up with you guys for the national anthem. Come on, man. That's what soccer's all about.
Let's do it. I'm in. The games now, unfortunately, the U.S. got beat up a little bit last night.
Yeah, they did.
International play. It's been great to watch all these games. The boys watch every game. They have them on their phone. We all have our favorite teams from Man U to Man City to Liverpool. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch soccer internationally, the Premier League. It's fun. But, yeah, the scarves, let's do it. I'm in.
Now, Coach, which international teams do your boys like to follow when it comes to, World Cup qualifying?
As far as World Cup, obviously the U.S. We're all about the U.S., but we have boys, EHT, we're, kind of a melting pot. We have players and families from all across the world. So they're rooting for everyone, from teams in Africa to European teams. But I'll tell you what, last night we were racing home from our scrimmage to watch the U.S. play, and that was a major disappointment. The U.S., they have to get their act together, and they're not looking too good. Costa Rica's
a good squad, though.
They are good. Oh, don't get me wrong. They are good. They have a great goalie and obviously a good game plan. But it's tough. It's tough right now. But, the obvious ones like the Argentinas and the Brazils and Germany's looking good. But, yeah, we have players, that for the most part are rooting for USA. But we do have families from, like I said, all over the world. So they're rooting for their home countries. And it's a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of soccer on. It's been great.
Coach, before we let you go, what's going to take to get Ireland back in the World Cup, man? These guys got to step it up. They got to step it up. My boys got to step it up.
It's going to take a lot, I'll tell you what. I love when they're on. I'll be the first one tuning in to watch them play. But
I got to see the green and gold back in the World Cup, man.
You know what? It's been a while, but I'm on the same. I agree with you. They have some work to do. They always have tough competition. It's always fun when Ireland plays, and everyone, for the most part, gets into it. But it's gonna take some rebuilding, I think.
Good stuff as always, Coach. Good luck in your season opener. We'll catch up with you soon, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely, we'll be in touch. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks, Coach.
All right. See you, Sully.
That was Pete Lambert, Egg Harbor Township boys soccer. We're going to get more into soccer here in the next couple of weeks.